Hello, everyone, and welcome to Good Journeys Tarot. This is Rosemary, and today I'm going to be starting what I hope will be a series of videos on called Thursdays with Thoth. And the reason for this is I have actually been collecting materials to study the Thoth throughout this year. And this week, Nina from Thoth Tarot posted a video in which she talked about tarot from scratch. And she's basically going to be walking through various aspects of Thoth um, from a beginner standpoint. And she started a Facebook group for that. So I'll put the link to the video above as well as the link to the Facebook group below. Why am I interested in Thoth? I mean, originally, when I was looking at tarot and I saw the Thoth deck, there was just nothing appealing to me about it. I mean, the images to me, some of them just didn't resonate at all, particularly the Fool. I mean, I think this is one of the most heinous images in tarot. It's just ugly, and it doesn't relate to me at all from as a fool. It doesn't. So I'm going to learn a little bit more about this, and maybe I'll enjoy it. Maybe I won't. But that being said, 2 years ago, I received the Spirit Keeper's Tarot. The Spirit Keeper's Tarot is Benabel Wynn's deck, in which she attempts to reconcile the RWS and Thoth, as well as her own ideas about the tarot. And you can actually see that in the cards. And so, for example, here is the Eight of Swords from the Thoth. And in her Eight of Swords, the captor, you can see she has arranged her swords in much the same fashion. She also has arranged the images on her Two of Cups in a similar fashion, though hers does also include RWS imagery. There are other images like this one from the Demerge, the Four of Scepters, which incorporate, again, RWS imagery and the Thoth image. This is one of the ones that probably caught my attention the most, and that was her use of the images from this Four of Disc in her Four of Orbs, which represents the four elements. And so it got me to thinking, would understanding the Thoth more help me understand the Spirit Keeper's Tarot more? And so I began to think about when I might want to start studying that. Here's the Tree of Life from the Ten of Orbs and Ten of Discs. You can also see it where she put this element here that looks like the Two of Wands. There is a similar motif here of the triangle in the orbs in the three. But this is the card that really stuck with me. This is actually one of the first cards in the Thoth that I kind of fell in love with after having studied the Spirit Keeper's Tarot, the Nocturne. And this is the energy that I've been working with for about a year and a half now in my life, trying to establish good change and move forward. Yeah, so I loved this. And so I had been thinking about it. And then a year ago, I purchased Queering the Tarot. And I began looking at it and discovered that the deck in it was actually from Robin Scott's The Urban Tarot. And so I purchased the deck to work with as I read through the book. And in her deck, which I did not know until I received it, it's also based on the Thoth. And you can actually see where she has used the images from the Thoth cards in everyday scenes in her deck. These are just a few of the examples. There's our Ten of Wands on his back. There again is our Tree of Life for our Ten of Discs. And then you also see here the image of the Six Swords. This is an interesting one to me. Okay, if you'd asked me 6 months ago about this card, I would say, this makes no sense to me. Science as the Six of Swords. But this summer, I studied the Marseille. And in my own interpretation of the Marseille, I came to the conclusion that sixes are about balance and swords are about intellect. So it's really about the balance of knowledge or information. And I think when you have balanced knowledge, when that knowledge is consistent, that is what science is. I mean, and so this now makes a little bit more sense to me now that I've studied the Marseille. Whereas before, it just never made any sense. So I think that I'm going to gain more knowledge of my RWS and of my Marseille as I studied the Thoth. But the main reason that I really wanted to get into this now was because I would be able to do it with a group of people through Nina's group. And again, that group is called Thoth from Scratch. And I actually have purchased this book, which is, based on reviews, the most reader-friendly explanation of the Thoth Tarot that I'm going to be looking at, but I'll also be utilizing some online resources that Nina has shared and that others are sharing in the group. And so these are my initial thoughts on why I'm looking at the Thoth all of a sudden, and I hope that you'll come back to see what else I'm learning in the days to come. Until next time, good journeys.